This is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore. So, in continuation of the Rashi characteristics, let me today talk about Mithuna and Gemini. Yesterday, classes were recorded in a different new device, and there was a little bit of audio. I think there was less, it caught up less or something like that. I got to know from my followers. So today I am again shifting back to the regular device in which I am recording. So okay, let me go through the characteristics of Mithuna, that is Gemini. These people are tall, upright, have long hands, they are dusky in complexion. Because Mithuna is a dual sign, they have both dual characteristics, that is, they are little fair in complexion when the Lagna tends to be towards Cancer, and they are dusky in complexion when the Lagna tends towards Vrishabha. So, and since the duality is also because of the Chara Rashi and the Sthira Rashi, that is, Vrishabha is a Sthira Rashi, that is, it's a fixed sign, and Cancer is a Chara Rashi, that's a movable sign, and Mithuna is in between. So this is known as a Dviswabhava Rashi, that is, it has two different characteristics. So the half of Mithuna which is towards the Vrishabha, that is Taurus, has more of a stable quality when compared to the other half, that is between 15 degrees to 30 degrees, which is towards Karkataka, that is Cancer. So the other half is a little bit more, fast in thinking, emotional, mischievous, and all this. So, if you want to know the pure characters of Gemini, most of the dual characters will mix up and it gives up a new character which is somewhere in the middle of the Gemini, somewhere between the 10th and the 20th degree of the Gemini sign. Okay, let us go into the further characteristics of Gemini. The eyes are sharp and active, the nose is long, broad forehead, and they are elegant to look at. Carefree, they are very carefree and careless when it comes to their, some tasks. They are extremely active. They do not sit in one place. They are hyperactive actually. They are very joyous, always positive, and a very strong-minded person. Strong-minded in the sense that they don't get perturbed or they don't get unsettled, disturbed. They keep on disturbing others. So that's a very it's a very different type of Rashi. They are versatile because they can do a lot of things. They are ambidextrous. The dexterity of both the hands are good, so they can become good surgeons. They can become very good doctors. So, and anyway, because Mercury represents financial thing, that this finance and marketing, they are excellent businessmen. They are very good readers, voracious readers, and they are very good writers also. Why? Because Mercury is the third house from the Kalapurusha. Kalapurusha is Aries, Taurus, Gemini. So Gemini is the third house, and because it's the third house, they have speech quality is good, the connectivity is good, the communication is good. Their language is good. That is because Chandra is the second lord, that is Karkataka is the second Rashi, that is Cancer is the second Rashi. They are very good in adjusting to circumstances. They will not stick to one particular rigid stance. So they can adjust to situations, and sometimes if there are fast moving planets or retrograde planets in the Lagna, or the Lagnadipati itself goes into retrograde planets or sits with them, then there is indecisiveness. So this is actually an affliction. Usually Gemini people come fast to decisions, and they are very fast at some decisions which are actually not that good at rate for any Rashi, but still in this they become indecisive when it is afflicted, and they take a lot of time to come to a decision. So they are and because of this inability of decision making, that is when it is malefically posited, they become fickle minded, and they are not that good in finishing their jobs. So uh, this is a broader spectrum of Gemini. But when Gemini becomes malefically strong, I'm not telling malefically weak here. When Gemini becomes malefically strong, the person gets the brain of conning people, becomes cunning, becomes dishonest. He can lie just like that without even thinking. He is extremely fast, and he thinks that he is smart and the others are dumb. So this happens when it is malefically strong. So they can get into of doing fraud, tricking people, conning people, etc. So, okay, let us go to the positive professions for this particular Rashi. Professions are that they can become scholars, editors, journalists, accountants, lecturers, solicitors, professors, businessmen, mathematicians, advertisers, detectives, in the different sense, because detectives with more of a deducing personality rather than a person who is more secretive in nature. So the secretive detective is from Scorpio. They are shy in their early age, but as time goes on, they become become extroverts. They are shy and timid and try to be introverts if the Lagnadipati becomes weak, and it tends to sit in houses where the Lord of Communication, Mercury itself is the Lord of Communication, becomes weak, and it is masked by slow moving and tough planets very, very close to it. So it should not be a Raja Yoga. If it is a Raja Yoga, once again it will enhance the spirit of communication. But if it is weakly posited, then yes, these people will become introverts. They do not want to show themselves to the public. They will be like very timid and very shy. They would want to restrict their movements, reserved, but they will be open when they are with their own people. They'll be very open, very candid when they are with their own people. So these people suffer from fever and regular fevers and uh, infections. Usually, um, what we call as dust allergies. So they get skin allergies and dust allergies. Their bladder and the lungs are little weak, so they need to tend to be fit by exercising. Usually, Geminis are very fit. Sorry. So let us go to the Karkataka Lagna. That is the Lagna, the Cancer Lagna. So Cancer Lagna has a heavy body with slender limbs, powerful wrists. The fingers are very powerful. You can understand that it is represented by a crab. So the upper portion of the body is large, round faced, broad face, and a head is prominent. The stature is short. They are not that long people. They are they are not that tall. Sorry, not long, tall, and they walk slowly with a rolling gait. You can actually you can count like 1, 2, 3, 4. So their gait will be a rolling gait. So you can see that. So these are the characteristics which are used to ascertain when we are doing birth time rectification of the lagna. So they are of a wheatish complexion, normally fair towards fair. In each community, you have different level of complexions. I get some people asking me that what if a person is born in the under the Cancer lagna in Africa, will he become blonde? No, he will not become fair or blonde, or he will not become like an European. No. when compared to the hues of that particular culture and community, he will look fairer. Simple. So let us keep it at that level. So when we tell fair, that doesn't mean suddenly out of the blue moon, in a Dravida community of the South India, a Japanese is born. It doesn't happen. It happens only when he goes through, leukoderma of the highest kind. So that doesn't happen. So, just a minute. Cancer people have very strong imagination power. That is because it is ruled by moon, and also because there are two dark planets which are one dark planet which has its nakshatra present there. That is the Pushya nakshatra. So, but Pushya nakshatra is a positive nakshatra because it is used for muhurtas in certain places. So, because it is a positive nakshatra, usually being having a dark planet like Saturn as its lord will give beautiful dreams and excellent imagination and excellent imaginative power, because Pushya is a very creative nakshatra. So, and that is why when it sits in the center of this particular Rashi, this Rashi itself becomes a creative Rashi. A person who can tell stories, a person who can, be caring, like a mother. So we know that the word mother itself is the most purest thing to happen to anybody on this world, because a mother will be always selfless to her child, and she will be like she is ready to give her life to her child. So uh, it's like a mother. So we should understand that when the fourth house from the Kalapurusha is clearly referred to a mother, the purity of the sign is of a very high order. So these people look good. They don't look seductive, and they don't look, in a different way. They don't look like, like a beauty pageant. No, they don't. They are not fit for beauty pageants, but they look clear in their face. They look calm. They are very harmonious. They are very happy going people, and they are very simple people. That is, they don't take grudges, they don't have jealousy, they don't have greed, and all this is when the Rashi is pure without affection. Let me be very clear with that, because people will not understand this thing, and they will simply apply whatever I have told. They should not simply apply it to a Rashi and its characteristics. You should understand that these things keep varying from, let us say, from 0 to 10. It's a huge band of variation. So you should understand that before predicting, you need to set things right by understanding each and every aspect and angle of planets. Even the Lagna, when it is sitting at 2 degrees in Cancer, will differ to the Lagna which is sitting at 28 degrees in Cancer. It makes a lot of difference, because at 2 degrees it will be in Punarasu Nakshatra, fourth quarter, and at 28 degrees it will be in Ashlesha Nakshatra, fourth quarter. So you should understand it's huge difference. Okay, so these position of ascendants will also keep giving different aspects to the native, as the waning and waxing of the moon. The moon keeps on changing its brightness. That is not because of the moon, it's because of the earth, because we are having a tilted axis. So it keeps changing its brightness, and it keeps waxing and waning. It comes to the full moon and it comes to the new moon. So this is how their emotional system also works. So they are suddenly, elated, happy, very happy, and suddenly the mood slumps down the next day or even that day itself and goes into depression. So they are very emotional people. They cannot take, shocks. So trauma and shock is a little difficult for them to handle. So these people are susceptible to these things. So we need to handle them very carefully when we are in the family and we know that they are Cancer ascendants. So, okay, the second half of their life is prosperous. That is because the first half they would be very innocent, they would be learning the ways of this world. So that the time comes, they understand how to be in this world. They would be like, let's say, Um, I age somewhere near to the middle age. So okay. So the professions what is the suitable for this particular Rashi would be government service at first. Why? Because sun gets exalted in Aries, and that is the 10th house, the house of Karmasthana, that is karma for Cancerians. So government service is a easy thing for them and they can easily get into it, provided they put their commitment and the placement of planets are good. I am telling this once again because you people should not get misguided that every Cancerian can get into government. No. So, commercial career, business in liquids, sea products, jewelry, restaurants, chemicals, and sailors. They can become good sailors. They can do very good business in chemicals and like detergents, and they can do very good business in hotel industry, the food industry, because moon represents and Karkataka represents food. So they can become sea captains or naval captains. They can go into all these types of explorations to the Antarctica or something like that. So they are good judges. And this particular Rashi represents those places in the world where there is good drinkable potable water. So whenever we are doing the muhurta, we usually keep this particular lagna for digging wells or starting to dig bore wells or anything like that where we would want to search good water. Okay, because water is the most, one of the most expensive commodities now itself, and in the future it will become a premium commodity because air nowadays, you know how tough it is, and there are people are searching for oxygen. Air, water, earth, fire, that is heat, and space. These are the five most valuable things. We can't even set a price for these. These are priceless. So you have all these five, that means you are king. You are a king in this world. If you have good drinking water, if you have good breathable air, if you have good space to roam around, if you have an excellent earth to either grow your garden or have your flowering garden or your fruiting trees, and if you have what is the last one? I said earth, water, air, space, and fire. That is, you should have good sunlight. It's not that you have space and you are somewhere in Greenland. That's not good health. I'm not telling Greenland people are not healthy, but you will have to substantiate so many things to become healthy. So this is one of the major factors, water. So Panchabhutas, what we call, these are the most important and extremely impure now because of human beings. We have made it impure, and we have started to spoil all these one by one. So let us start trying to make use of these Panchabhutas so that we can live our life, because we are made out of these five elements. We are made out of these five elements. Our body has Prithvi Tattva, space, it needs space, it has water, it has air, and it has the fire, the Agni. So without this we can't live. So this is one of the major factors, that is the water, drinking water. Okay. These people love to have spacious houses, love to have money. They would want to be financially fit. They do not want to ask for money for somebody. They don't have the thing to go ahead and ask money from somebody for something. So they would always want to be like, I have mine with me, so I don't want to put my hand forward, and it's something like they feel like they are begging. So it should not happen to them. So that's what their mindset is. So these people are prone to digestive disorders, the lung troubles, because it is the fourth house, it is the upper chest, the lower chest. The upper chest or the shoulder region was the third house. I will come to the body parts in detail later on. So they are prone to digestive troubles, lung troubles, hysteria, which is actually one of the mental incapabilities of a human being when they go through troubled um, depression with aggression. So nervous debility, they can have phlegmatic diseases like asthma, bronchitis, sinusitis, etc., which may also tend to give them dizziness and less stamina, etc. So let me wind up the class for today. So I have covered till now. I have covered Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Karkataka. That is Cancer. So I hope you people are making notes and also revising, because I think already by now there is too much of portion which has been pumped into now. It is I am going to give some more. So I would want, if at all some serious students are there who would want to take up astrology, because I'll be teaching everything. I'll be giving out whatever I have learned. So if people are serious and they would want to take astrology as their profession in the future, they would have to make notes, work out, read, memorize, sometimes even by heart. It's not like I have memory, I have kept it everything inside. Ashwini Makamula is for Ketu. Ashwini Makamula, you should be perfect, and that's because you are going to deal with somebody else's life. They are going to ask you a question for their life, the path, the future. We can't simply blabber something to them by using our guesswork or some knowledge of communication. No, this is a very pure science. This is a science for responsible people only, not for irresponsible people. You please make it a strong, people should have commitment that they should take it forward as a profession. So take it seriously and make notes and study well. Thank you very much.